everyone, Coach Laura here. Welcome to our first day of the Coach Sneak Peek. I'm so excited to have you all here in the group with us and to share our stories with you. Sorry if you hear a lot of, pardon the noises around me. We're doing a little construction today at the house, so if you hear something, that's what it is. But I'm really excited to share with you guys my story and how I got started as a coach, so I'm just going to dive right in. So I'm going to kind of throw it way back to childhood for me. When I first started, dipping my knowledge into health and fitness, it was at a really young age. We have depression and anxiety on both sides of the family, and diabetes, and overweight on both sides. And when I was a little girl, I actually got diagnosed with anxiety. And so that was, something that was just kind of always in the back of my mind. And I, just knew how important our health was at such a young age. And so, that carried with me throughout childhood and throughout my rebellious teen years. Kind of got into that whole party phase and everything at a really young age. And so by the time that I graduated high school and got out into the real world and that sort of thing, I knew that I just wanted to benefit myself. So I wanted to start being more responsible, be that responsible adult, that sort of thing. So I kind of dove into a relationship at the time and just really focused in on myself, being responsible when it came to work, and just, putting forth a lot of effort into that. But what I didn't realize at the time was, I kind of cut off from all of my friends at high school and that sort of thing, and I, dove into this relationship. But what I didn't realize was that I started surrounding myself with somebody that was pretty negative in life. And so, they had their own insecurities and these things, and battling a little bit of their own depression and that sort of stuff. And at the time, I didn't notice it. I didn't, think it was something that bothered me, or it was something that I could handle, or all these things. And so I kept pushing forward within that relationship and that person. And over time, I realized that those habits and those that pattern and way of thinking, that negative thought process, and feeling insecure myself, had worn off onto me. And I was out of that relationship at the time when I started realizing these things. And so I had to start doing some, real mental reconstruction, and realizing that, I needed to get back to that more social fun Laura that I knew back in the day, without the whole, party phase. And so that was when I had met my best friend, and we, just kind of buddied up, and, he was just talking with me, saying, why don't you get back into health and fitness? That seemed like something that you are very passionate about. And, and that's true. I went to school for 2 days as a personal trainer when I first got out of high school, and realized that it just wasn't for me at the time. So I went back about 4 years later to the same personal training school, same teacher, and said, hey, I want to try this again. So I went for the 6-month course and finished it out. Got my diploma, but when it came to the time to where, okay, hey, I could get certified, I was very reluctant to. I had just finished up my job as a barista about a year ago, and was going into the waitressing field. And I was a barista for about 4 years. And in that time period, I knew exactly what I didn't want. I found what I did not want out of a job, which was getting up early, being called into work, being called in when somebody else is sick, feeling overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, and just kind of stuck. I felt like, I was just going to be at this coffee shop for the rest of my life. Even my boss said that he would sell it to me a few years down the road if I just hung out for 5 or 6 years, which that thought made me want to run to the hills and just, run as fast as I could. Stuff like that I just, was not fitting in my reality, and perception of what I was really wanting for my own life, and, kind of goals that I was wanting for my own life. And so I didn't get certified in personal training. I got my diploma and just kept kind of surfing on Craigslist for a really long time. For a few months. I was, waitressing, nannying, and finally saw my Coach Christie's ad pop up on Craigslist a couple different times and responded to it. We got on the phone and I said yes to being a coach. I signed up with Shakeology and Hip Hop Abs at the time and dove in about at the end of November 2013, and that was where I got started. So it wasn't, I'd never been in a challenge group or workout group or anything like that, and got to meet the team down the road. And that to me was kind of the big seller, was the team, because everyone was so loving and positive, and they just didn't have any negative voice or opinion to spread about. They just always had wanted the best, and I hadn't experienced that in a really long time, and no one made fun of my eating habits or anything like that, because I can be pretty picky, and it was just so overwhelming. So after about being a coach and working my business on the side a few hours a week for about 6 months, I actually ended up going full-time coach. And so that was how I got started, and what drew me to the team was the support, and just kind of everything built up until then. So thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you all being here on our first day, and look forward to talking with you the rest of the week.